If you were me, would you report the coach? Would you divorce her? Or would you try to rebuild something that may already be broken? Because I'm standing at the edge of a decision, and for the first time in my life, I'm not sure being the nice guy is the right answer. I didn't catch my wife in bed with another man. There were no lipstick stains, no hotel receipts, no late-night confessions, just one phone call and 4 words that ended my marriage. She didn't say no. I'm 47 years old. I've been married for over 2 decades. If you asked anyone in our town about me, they'd say I'm the calm one, the steady one, the good husband, the guy who never raises his voice, the guy who lets things slide, the guy who doesn't make scenes. I used to think that made me strong. Now I wonder if it just made me easy to walk on. Looking back, the signs were there long before the phone call, but I ignored them. Because the truth is, I was afraid of what they meant. She flirted in front of me, not outrageously, not enough for someone else to call it out, just enough for me to feel it. The extra touch on a man's arm, the prolonged laugh, the kind of eye contact that lingers half a second too long. I'd feel that tightness in my chest. And then I'd tell myself, you're being insecure. You're overthinking. Don't be that guy. So I'd smile and stay quiet. There were texts too. I saw a few by accident. Flirty, suggestive, playful. When I confronted her gently, she rolled her eyes. You're ridiculous. They're just jokes. You're too sensitive. And somehow, I believed her. Because believing her was easier than believing my wife didn't respect me. Our son's baseball coach moved to town last year. Confident, charismatic, the kind of man who fills space without trying. He'd shake my hand firmly, look me straight in the eye, smile like he knew something I didn't. I didn't feel threatened at first. I trusted my wife, or maybe I just trusted the version of her I needed to exist. She started staying longer after practice, said she liked watching him improve, said the coach was really dedicated. She talked about him more than necessary. I noticed, but I said nothing. Because confrontation would mean admitting I wasn't okay, and I built my entire identity around being the guy who's always okay. She lied about her location twice. Small lies. I'm at the store. But she wasn't. I left already? But she hadn't. When I asked about it, she acted confused. Oh my God, it's not that deep. Why was I always the dramatic one? Why was I always the insecure one? I started doubting my own instincts. That's the thing about subtle betrayal. It doesn't stab you. It erodes you. Slowly, quietly, until you don't trust your own mind anymore. It was a Tuesday night. I wasn't supposed to hear it. She was in the kitchen. I was in the hallway. Her voice was soft, lower than usual, intimate. I heard his name. Then I heard him laugh through the speaker. My stomach dropped. I didn't mean to eavesdrop, but then he said it. I've been wanting to ask you this for a while. Silence. My heart started pounding. Would you want to grab dinner sometime? Just the two of us. There it was. The line, the moment, the crossroads. Everything in me waited for her to say, I'm married. For this to stop. But she didn't. She paused. She exhaled. And she said, I don't know. Not no, not never, not don't cross that line. Just uncertainty, just possibility, just enough space for betrayal to breathe. I felt something collapse inside my chest. And it wasn't loud. It was quiet. Like a building imploding inward. She acted normal after that. Too normal. Which made it worse. I asked her directly the next day. She admitted he asked her out. She said she didn't totally shut it down. She said she was caught off guard. She said I was overreacting. Overreacting? To my wife entertaining another man? She told me I'd become distant. That I wasn't confident. That she lost respect for me over the years. Lost respect. That word echoed. Respect doesn't just disappear. It erodes when boundaries are weak. And mine were weak. Because I was terrified of conflict. A week later, I found something that shook me more than the phone call. Notes she wrote before therapy. I wasn't snooping. They were left out. And I read them. She wrote, he's emotionally abusive. He controls me. He overreacts. I sat there staring at the page. Abusive? I've never hit her. Never screamed. Never humiliated her. If anything, I've been too passive. Too accommodating. Too soft. Was that abuse? Or was she rewriting the story to justify what she was doing? Gaslighting is a quiet kind of violence. It makes you question your own character. And for a moment, I wondered if I really was the villain. The hardest part isn't her. It's my son. He looks up to that coach. He trusts him. He doesn't know. I pulled him out of baseball. She cried. Not for me. For herself. She said I took away her joy. Her joy. Not once did she say, "I'm sorry I hurt you." Not once did she say, "You didn't deserve that." It was always about how she felt suffocated, how she felt unseen, how I failed her. I told her if our son continues playing under that coach, our marriage is over. She called it controlling. I called it a boundary. Maybe for the first time in my life. We live in a small town. News spreads like wildfire. If I report him, people will talk. They'll whisper at games. They'll look at my son differently. Kids are cruel. High school memories last forever. But if I stay silent, am I protecting my son? Or protecting my own fear? And what if it became physical? I don't have proof, just intuition and hesitation and lies. Is emotional betrayal enough to end a marriage? Or am I clinging to technicalities because I'm scared to walk away? The affair might not have been physical, but the disrespect was real. And sometimes disrespect hurts more than cheating, because it means they stopped valuing you long ago. She didn't wake up one day and lose respect. She lost it slowly. Every time I avoided confrontation, every time I swallowed my discomfort, every time I chose peace over dignity, I became safe, predictable, non-threatening. And in her eyes, small. That's the part that destroys me. Not the coach, not the call, but the realization that I helped build the dynamic that allowed this. I taught her I would tolerate anything, and she believed me. Part 11, where I stand now. We sleep in the same house, but not in the same world. Conversations feel rehearsed, careful, cold. She says she doesn't know if she loves me the same way anymore. I don't know if I love her the same way either. Because love without respect feels like humiliation. I look at her sometimes and wonder, when did you start seeing me as less? When did I stop seeing myself as enough? I used to think betrayal was explosive. Now I know it can be quiet, subtle, a slow erosion of dignity. 4 words. She didn't say no. And now I'm left deciding whether that hesitation is enough to walk away from 20 years.